course, got to the quarterfinals last season. What type of resume are you looking for? Do you look for quality wins? Do you look for total wins? Do you look for the biggest results? Do you look at a hot team trending down the stretch? McKinnon plays a lovely ball into the byline for
Time
Garcia.
to pick his head up and look to serve the ball into the box.
At speed, it's McKinnon on the left.
The quality of his side.
Garcia peels away nicely from a double team. Loose ball. Overlap was coming from Zawadzki, and Riviere mishit it. End-to-end action now as the game opens up a bit. Riviere's going to serve it, looking for Polvara. Headed away by Bonus. Villanova content to get a spell of possession here as Tom Carlin finally summons the number 12, Luke Papliano, to the scorer's table. Saunders, good layup to Garcia. One-touch play amongst the Wildcats. It's McKinnon. Lovely stuff from Villanova. Villanova just 20 ticks remaining on the clock. Garcia looking for Dragosits, the local product. Good early ball. Papliano has it, shot wide.
Now to Gray Ricka. Just inside the line.
Today is going to be so meaningful because all the teams are sitting right next to one another in the standings.
Incredible ball movement by Villanova. They
that year scored in the 86th minute, and Villanova went to the NCAA's that year, connecting passes all year long, according to Tom Carlin. And the Wildcats will sequence themselves through the park with Jorge Garcia, the youngster out of Atlanta, and that's A.J. Cousins, the fullback, 159th. So they've scored plenty of goals, but they've also let more in, which is probably the biggest reason why they've had the results. RPI has Villanova's conference. First of all, the Big East has the number 3 conference RPI behind the Pac-12 and ACC, as Villanova will continue play. Kick saves against Georgetown last year, one in an overtime loss, and one against Dante Polvara in the Big East final. But he's been injured, so they've gone with the youngster, Hannes Ron Ullman, to get him some experience, as he could be the keeper for next season. Villanova with a great play here for Jide Awujo, but he was called offside. To host the entire Final Four of the Big East Championship. Will it be Georgetown? Seton Hall won it, of course, alongside Lisa Roman. 6 in corners last season. It seemed like one match after the other, as Jorge Garcia starts. Villanova started 4-0, their best ever to start a Big East campaign. Great job by Saunders to find Garcia. We've hit the very late stages here in this fixture in the 87th minute between Villanova and thanks for joining us on Flow Sports. A great crowd on hand here today on Villanova's campus on the final day of the regular season. A chance here for Villanova, a great denial. It is title for Coach Trask. And then Villanova got another Wisconsin grad transfer last year during the spring season in Alon Koenig, who added a lot of defensive Gutierrez, as A.J. Cousins, the fullback, will work past him. Jorge Garcia's number 18. He draws an assignment as an attacking midfielder, and Tom Carlin. And they know their jobs and their role, which takes time, according to Tom Carlin, to understand. What the 90th minute for Georgetown. It's just incredible to see that team. As Gray Ricka, number 10. And Villanova making the run from around the country. And lots of homegrown Windy City products. It's knocked away by Jorge Garcia out of Atlanta, looking for Lion McKinnon! Doing a great job helping lead the defense. I asked Tom Carlin during this losing streak which Villanova players have helped keep things afloat. He's definitely said Anthony Dragosits, one of the captains, and Carson Williams, the goalkeeper, being solid, steady leaders, very positive, and a good group of guys. They all get along well, according to Coach Carlin, and the chemistry's right. And Villanova off to a terrific start. Herbers, Timo Pitta, Ricardo Perez, Alex Kapp, the goalkeeper, Brian Holt. And it will be Jorge Garcia, who had the big penalty kick against Hartford in a win earlier. It's in there. It's knocked around by Villanova for Mark Plotkin. As Villanova trying to stay on sides with Luke Papliano. Flag stays down. He's inside. Getting the best of DePaul in that great shootout that I'm sure all the DePaul fans remember, when it was Will Steiner and Villanova reigning supreme that day. A day to remember for Steiner. A huge comeback effort by Villanova. They came back and won a couple of times. Kanika, number 29, the freshman midfielder out of PDA. With his fourth game of the year, he'll play in the midfield setup for Villanova.
Loss on their home pitch. Garcia was looking to make a connection, and Villanova takes it back. This is a night where those who are racing the conditions, a big kudos. It's a good thing it's not a month later either. This area knows a thing or two about those
chances will be the most important to each of these teams because of the great defenses. There might not be a lot of chances. You have to hit on an opportunity. In tandem with Dominic Syriacs. Very slick work as Syriacs was trying the overlap with Gray Ricca, and a solid marking by Anthony Herbert, number 3, with help from number 2, Jared. A little bit more pep in the step of St. John's, and they're working off ball much better. And on the receiving end, and Villanova's been asleep a couple times suddenly on their mark, which we haven't seen many. St. John's has had trouble winning here, and that's been evident. The results speak for themselves. Between a first-round bye or having to play an extra Big East tournament game, back to 6 teams for the Big East tournament for this year. The top 2 teams, as always, get the first-round bye. The 3 seed plays the 6 seed in the quarters. 4 plays midfielder, who's just played everywhere this season. Knapp going to defend Jorge Garcia. And it'll be tough for Villanova to defend all this possession. It has been so far, plus the fourth career game for Kent Dickey, or as Gabriel Jersey in his 56th career game. A new player is Vince Petrera, number 19, the 6'2" striker and a Baltimore Armor in Salisbury, Maryland, will enter the match for Villanova.
If that ball's a little stronger, a little bit more on target, might be a better opportunity.
Garcia, nice pullback. He finds Ricca on the far side.
Likes a certain lineup out there, he's told me. And I think you'll see Balti Saunders at some point back for Villanova. This is Seydou Shamsuddin, the native from Ghana, with his 4th career marker. He's just Big East Offensive Player of the Week, has his 4th marker of the season. As Providence, to me, the best team in the league on paper to start the season.
Game here was a loss for Xavier. Came at the end of a 4 matches in 9 day stretch. And then
ago, this team was in last place in the conference, and it looked like there was virtually no hope that they would make it to this point, let alone host a match in the first round of the Big East tournament.
Getting in the air. Cousins is forward. Collected by Jorge Garcia. Cousins back for Belleuse. Little 3-man game here with Garcia, Belleuse, and Cousins.
Dom Laws for UConn. Jack Bonas for Villanova. Belleuse. Levesque's cross intercepted. Villanova going the other way.
Trading on making that stretch run solid. Andy Fleming got on the phone with Paul Hernandez.
It sent his way and headed out. And there is Lion McKinnon. Give and go. Great gas pedal offense here by Villanova, looking to spring Jide Awujo. And UConn got back. Good defensive timing there. They're a little out of sorts, though, and Villanova.
Mostly freshmen and sophomores. They get the bulk of the playing time. They were picked last at the outset of the season.
A little bit turned one way, wound up having to try and get back the other way. little bit more pace on the ball, too, than maybe he realized.
Former Dean College player, Carson Williams, a multi-year starter for the Wildcats. Really with any established possession to this point. That's a nice move as Jorge Garcia swings the field. And here it comes to the top of the 18.
Years. Does an effective job here at restarting play. Chance out wide for Dragosix. Cross into the box. It's Bettenhausen out wide to the left for Penn State.
With less players available, especially two that chew up as many minutes as they do, and Mark O'Neal and Callum Watson. It's going to be
lots of defending at a high level for Victor Benedictson today. Quickly, 2013, a 1-1 tie right here at this park before it was redesigned. Giovanni Sims scored that day for Hartford. And 2012 at Penn here in Philly on a neutral field. The second of two ever. Victor Benedictson there to defend. Look at the open space we have today. You really have to keep your eyes open. I was watching it live. I turned Georgetown on for about 2 minutes yesterday, and Pulvara was getting set. Lion do well. And because he's a good person more than anything. Friendly. 46th career start for Carson Williams. And Villanova Tech last weekend, and Indiana preseason number 2. Of course, those teams met in the final last year, and Marshall got the victory. We remember him as he scored in each of the fixtures in those 3 subsequent fixtures. It was Giovanni Sims in the 43rd minute in 2012. That will play at Indiana tonight. As we'll see if one of the Big East teams, Hartford, of course, going D3 by 2025 are the reports. I asked Trevor Gorman if they would here at Higgins Soccer Complex, as they've won 3 straight. And 25 is Trevor Gorman telling me in our chat yesterday he spent most of the time in his training room as he had 3 different knee operations. A marvelous opportunity, and it is Garcia with great